So this is the headline that I was talking about, right? It says Pixel 10's May 2026 update prevents you from installing older Android versions, or it prevents you from rolling back the software. So what if you did get in a bind? What if you did break your phone? Uh-oh. I can't go back. What the hell? Well, we'll get into that in a second because it's got a little stipulation to it that is not that big of a deal. But I want to go through the May uh, security patch for the Google Pixel devices. I know we spent the entire show yesterday talking about Pixel, and for good reason, right? It was a huge leak, and now we know basically what the phone's going to look like, right? So, or not look like, well, come with inside is what I meant, the specs. So, the May security patch for the Google Pixel series came out for all Pixel devices all the way down to the 7A. So, if you have a 7A, may want to start thinking about um, end of life supports here coming up pretty soon, but you still got a little a little while longer. But let's look at the change log, shall we? Before we get into this bootloader, I mean to this rollback thing. This they prevent us from doing the rollback. So, what is in this update? Are there any bugs squashed? Are there any big fixes for the Pixels? I don't know. I just heard it when there was an update today, and I thought, let me look in and see what's coming out in this update. And I was like, well, you know what? Why don't I just go live and we'll look at it all together because this is the stuff that I do in my off time. So I thought, what the hell? Let's just go check it out all together. So here's the May 2026 update that includes bug fixes and improvements for Pixel users. Now, I want y'all to. I got Pixels in the household, but I think my daughter's using hers, but I'm not using mine, and my wife's definitely not using hers. And I could always ask my daughter, "Hey, did you update your phone yesterday? Well, how's your battery life?" She was like, "I don't know." Teenagers, right? So I'm gonna need to lean on y'all. Those of y'all that do have Pixels, I want you to, when it's available, download this update, and when you do get it loaded up and you got a day or two on it, let me know how the battery life is. Apparently there is a fix for slow wireless charging and a fix potentially for the April update that was killing everybody's battery. It seemed like Samsung was hit with a battery bug with the April patch, and Google was as well. So Samsung did push out a second April update for their devices. I got one for my S26 Ultra, and then I got one for my S25 Plus. I got so many devices and get so many updates I can't remember sometimes, but I know I got two on these Samsung phones, and I think I had somebody comment today and ask, "Hey, has the second update helped your battery life?" And I was like, you know what? I look at my battery life. I charged it to 100% last night, unplugged it, and not my S26 Ultra. I'm talking about the S25 Plus that I have that I got real cheap. It would die pretty quick, and I know it was affected by this battery bug in the April security patch. It's similar to what was affecting the Pixel devices, so I'm kind of tying it into that, right? So it looks like we're getting a fix with not just Samsung but with Pixel. But long story short, I unplugged my phone at 100% last night before I went to bed. This is the S25 Plus that I don't really use, just to play around with. It's not a heavy use device, so it really doesn't get used that much, but it would die every day. I would have to plug it in. Even if I only used it for an hour or 10 hours, it would just die. So I unplugged it last night, and right before I used it right now, which has almost been, 20 hours since the last time I had plugged it in or picked it up, it's at 94%. So it's only lost 6% of battery life in 20 hours. It's pretty good. So I think it fixed it because previous to today, I know it would have been dead before I picked it up. So I picked it up and I was like, damn, this thing's still on. And I looked at the battery life and I was like, holy crap. So I think it's working, whatever they did to the Samsung phones. And again, it's the same similar fix to what's in these Pixel devices as well. It's just something in that April patch that jacked these phones up with the battery. Not to mention, there's also a fix for an issue with a camera app could freeze while recording video or adjusting zoom level. Displaying graphics, a fix for an issue that caused persistent flickering, white dot, or visual noise appear at the top of the display in certain conditions. And a fix for an issue that could intermittently cause screen to appear fuzzy, frozen display noise. Or excuse me, display noise lines. Display noise lines. It's a weird set of combination of words. Framework. Fix an issue where the keyboard or input screen could appear frozen or incorrectly positioned in some apps under certain conditions. Okay. So it seems like, look, it wasn't a huge update. Obviously, they do fix stuff, vulnerabilities behind the scenes or stuff in the kernel. You'll see, a lot of times you'll just see bug fixes and improvements, right? And you're like, more bug fixes and improvements, but they are patching stuff, filling these vulnerabilities behind the scenes. But battery and charging, I think, is the main focus on this month. So again, from my experience, at least from a couple of my devices, I think I got better battery life today, and I've been on this update for a day or two. So if you have a Pixel, if you have a Samsung, check for updates. If you have not gotten it yet, don't worry. They have like a staggered rollout, staggered release. I don't know, just check it every day. Or what I typically do is check it in the morning when I get up, and then sometime during the afternoon or at night, a couple times a day, just check it real quick. And it'll be there. If you don't have it now, probably get it the next day or two. So always want to double check on that. Now, as I mentioned, filling those vulnerabilities, behind the scenes type stuff. So let me go back and show you what the big little surprise was. So the May 2026 update for Pixel, don't worry about the Samsung, this is Pixel specific, contains a bootloader tweak, a bootloader update that prevents you from rolling back the software, meaning you can't install a prior version of Android from what it's already on. And at first thought, you're like, whoa, wait a sec, because you don't typically see that a lot. So you're like, whoa, hold up. Now, I don't do as much flashing as I used to in the past, but I may do a couple flashes, and I'm talking about the Android flash tool. I'm not talking about flashing a custom ROM. I'm talking about where I want to start fresh on a device, or I buy a device from somebody, but I need to flash it myself, manually flash it. Stuff like that comes up every now and then. So when I see something like that, I always dig through the details, because it might affect me, right? So let me pull up this and show you what I'm talking about. Now, I don't want you to freak out if you do roll back your devices, or you jump from beta to stable or back to beta, because here is the little wow, that is a crazy graphic. You saw that? Let me show you something real quick. That update was released today for Pixel. The update that was released for Samsung devices was yesterday. I put a community post out on my YouTube channel yesterday, and that was for a lot of Samsung devices: S26, S25, S24, S23, Z Flip and Fold 7, Z Flip 6 and Fold 6. I think it went all the way down to the 4, Flip 4, Fold 4. And then it even did some M series devices. I think that you only see in like India or Bangladesh or places like that, right? It was a very, very long list. This update affected a ton of devices, so I know they wanted to get it out there ASAP. Your battery's still not fixed yet? Interesting. What device do you have? Yeah, it's a staggered release. It's unfortunately not like Apple. You got yours today for Pixel 10. It's unfortunate. Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you joining us today. Thank you very much. It is a staggered release. Unfortunately, it's not um, like Apple, where when they push an update on their phone or on their servers, it literally goes out to everybody all at once. Uh, they don't do that. So typically, it'll take at the most of the I would say I would say 3 to 5 days to reach everybody. Now, on the really, I think I've had to wait for as long as a week. I think one time, but that's rare. I think typically I wait I would say 4 days, 3 to 4 days maybe. So if they released it yesterday for Samsung and today for Pixel, that means you should get it tomorrow or at the latest the next day. But I would say tomorrow you should get it, right? You should get it tomorrow, hopefully. And it also depends on where you're at as well. So let's see here. That's 24 plus. You should get it here. I don't know. In the next. In fact, I'll Google search it for you here in a second. Let's see here. Oh, my bad. Let's see. In your opinion, is it safe to get a Chinese phone now in the US? Yeah. Yeah, certainly. I think so. Doesn't stop me. Um, I mean, what would be dangerous about it? Now, if you're saying you didn't use the word dangerous, you said safe. So what would make it unsafe? Maybe if people are looking at it from a perspective of the government making out the Chinese to be the bad guy, and the bad guy and these phones are from where the bad guys are from. I could, they put out those narratives. I don't let that fool me. Now, maybe I'm the fool, right? But I think they're okay. I think they're okay. I think you should get it and you should enjoy it. That's what I think. I don't see. And again, the only thing that I'm worried about, which could it happen? I guess it's possible, but it's probably the chances are very slim. Is if the FCC they really want to crack down, right? So what if China gets involved? Over there in the Middle East between the U.S. and Iran. What if China gets involved? Just saying, it could happen, right? And then what if the U.S. how petty the administration is? What if they want to stick it to these Chinese and say, okay, well, I'm going to tell the FCC to block all Chinese devices that are getting radio frequencies or carrier services in our country. I could see that happening. If you asked me that a year ago, I'd laugh at you. But the way things are going, I could see that happening. But again, will it happen? Probably not. But is it out of the realm of possibilities? No. But I still think the chances are so slim of that happening. I think you should, if you have a OnePlus device, I think you should keep it, use it, enjoy it. Or if you're thinking about getting one, I think you should get it if you can afford it, use it and enjoy it. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna deal with that if a obstacle comes in the way between me and my technology. I'm gonna deal with that at that time, and go from there. I'm gonna try not to let this stuff, affect how I use and enjoy my technology, because they have the best phones out right now. That's without a doubt, in my opinion. OnePlus, Oppo, some of the best phones, and that's on top of Samsung. That's on top of Google Pixel. That's on top of iPhone. Just two of their flagships right there, probably, some of the best in the world. Oppo is obviously maybe a little better for photo and video, but OnePlus just as fun, playing games, multitasking. It's a phenomenal device, so I wouldn't worry about it. But that's just me. Let's see here. Oh, cool. You got yours yesterday? Sweet. So a lot of people are starting to get them. A lot of people are. So very good news. Oh, really? You're in Canada? Nice. How's the weather up there? Is it still a little chilly or is it warming up? Because it's supposed to pour down rain tomorrow here. We're supposed to get a cold front. I thought our last big cold front was like 2 weeks ago. It got down to the 30s one night here, and I thought that was our last big cold front. But apparently we're getting one tomorrow. That's bringing a bunch of rain. So yes, and it could go the other way around, and it probably will. Right? Um, China, if that happens, China could say, okay, well, we're going to do the same thing, reciprocate the same thing to you, and meaning people that are in China that are using iPhones, they'll just block all services to IMEIs that identify as an iPhone. Same thing, phone wars, I guess you could call it, but I hope it doesn't get there. But if it does, we'll deal with it. And here's the thing, it's not going to last forever, but I know it might put a dent in your. I mean, realistically, all this stuff should settle down the next 3 years when when there's a new seat up in there. But I hope it doesn't happen. It could, but we'll just have to wait and see. I would not be surprised though. It was warm but a little cool today. Typically great months. Nice. Yeah, our allergies are so bad here. Man, everybody got like allergy headaches here in the house. So everybody went to go lay down and take a nap, and I can't take naps because I won't wake up. So I don't take naps because I sleep so hard it just won't turn out good. All right, let's see here.